Good morning. So, yesterday I read this thing and it was so true. I read this thing and it was a monk decides he wants to go and meditate by himself to really connect with himself all alone. So he leaves his place where he is, he leaves all the people he's with, and he goes on a boat and goes in the middle of the water where there's nobody around. And he gets all comfortable. He starts meditating, closes his eyes, and starts breathing and starts connecting with himself. And then all of a sudden, a boat comes and rams into his boat. And it continues to bang against it. And he starts breathing and realizing, he's getting angry at this boat that just ram into him and wrecking his meditation. And he can feel it building up, the anger. And then before he even opens his eyes, he's just really angry. And he opens his eyes and he looks at the boat and ready to give whoever's there, whatever for, what you do when you're angry, right? And he looked and there's only the boat, just an empty boat hitting his boat. And then he realizes that the anger didn't come from anywhere else but inside him. He allowed it to manifest and to continue and to create so no matter who's out there, who's bugging you, who's irritating you, who's doing whatever, the anger's coming from within. You're allowing it, right? So often we go through our life thinking it's other people, other things that are creating it. And of course, we've created our own habit of believing this, that no, if it wasn't because of them, I wouldn't be angry. It's all their fault. If this thing didn't happen, I wouldn't be angry, right? So I'll give you an example. It was so perfect yesterday. So yesterday I read that yesterday morning. I shared it with my husband and Loki when they both woke up, because I thought it was such a profound thought process. And then I shared it with my daughter, my granddaughter. I thought it was it was such a good story that I needed to share it with everybody, right? So later on that day, I I had a situation that happened, that like I said before, the landlord has put the house up for sale and people are coming in and out. And so I go for my second COVID vaccine on Sunday, and that's when they wanted to do an open house. Well, that's really chaotic for me, and I couldn't figure out how to do it, and I started like going into my old habit of panic and freak and how am I going to do everything and blah blah blah, all this other stuff. And then my husband had said something, my son had said something, and to me, but it wasn't like, hey, calm down, don't get angry, remember anger, nothing like that. But whatever they had said triggered. I stopped for a second, I thought, and then it triggered that reminder that the anger and the frustration that I was feeling was only coming from me, inside me, had nothing to do with what was going on the outside. I was just choosing old habits, old thought processes, instead of the new ones that I could create. So I took back a step and I started thinking, okay, what can I do? How can I work this situation where everything's going to work out? And so we fixed out the time that they can come, and fixed out all the situation that they could come. So I took my own power back, but I also realize that I don't have to get angry for it. It only makes me feel bad. It's not going to make anybody else feel bad, except maybe people that are in my general area who I don't want feeling bad, because I love them, right? And I only want to be the best me that I can be. And so I said to my son that, do you remember that story that I told you this morning about the monk? And he said yes. And I said, what was making me angry? And he goes, you. And I said, exactly. It came from inside me. Doesn't matter what is going on the outside. You can choose to be happy or you can choose to be angry. It's up to you. So I took my thought back. I took my thought back. I took my feelings back. I took my emotions back. And I started deciding, what is it I want to feel? What is it I want out of life? If you, so so then I started listening to, of course, Dr. Joe Dispenza, because I just love him, and and uh, it'll come to me. And I started listening to different inspirational people, and Jim Rohn. I was like, it's right there. It's right there. What is it? And I started like thinking of, like I started thinking about what they were teaching, right? And it's all about, you can create your mind. So you can create from the last 5 years of your life, you've been creating these past 5 years. So you can start like right now creating a different life. So I started, instead of fuming, instead of staying angry, instead of feeling like a victim, instead of feeling that I have no control, instead of feeling like all these things, I have as much right to feel that I'm safe, to feel happy, to feel everything's working out for me, to feel that things are going my way. Nothing can go wrong. Everything's great. No matter what the situation, no matter what's happening, no matter what's going on at any point of time, you start changing your thoughts, you start creating your future. End of story. You're creating it right now anyways. You're creating your future by how you think and how you act, by how you react, like I did, and by the new habits that you're installing. So yes, it's going to take time. Like, let's think about weeds, for instance. Gardening, right? I'm a gardener. I love, 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 love gardening. See all my beautiful flowers. I just love them. I have some here. I have some roses over there. Sunflowers are down there. And I have tons out front. I love it. I also love gardening inside. I have tons of plants inside. So, if you plant a flower, right, you have a chance that that seed is going to grow, right? If you plant 2 seeds, then you have a better chance that seeds are going to grow. So we planted tons of sunflowers. We didn't get all of them. Not all of them grew, right? We planted, I don't even remember how many planted, but I think I got 25 out of probably 50 that we planted, me and the kids plant. We don't always get everything we plant. We have to constantly, we have to plant more than we expect. First of all, we just have to. That's just the way, the law, the law of the universe. Put out more of what you want, and then you get what you want back, right? So if I planted the seeds and then allowed the weeds that have been growing for years to take over, right, then that's what would be growing, the weeds, instead of the plants that I want. So, like, out front, I have sunflowers. I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay, I am out front. So here are my sunflowers, and see how the morning glory, let me see if you can see it. There you go. The morning glory is trying to take over. So if I do not take these weeds out on a constant basis, they will, and I'm glad I didn't do it yet so I could show you, they will consume this amazing sunflower. And if I allowed it, see, there's starting to be a weed there, it would take over my apple tree. See my gorgeous apples? Look at those beautiful apples. And so same with your thoughts. If you, because you're practicing now your thoughts and you're putting out there, you're still going to end up with a weed, right? And it's up to you to choose to pick that weed out and garden it. And sometimes you'll get to it right away, and sometimes something will happen that you'll have to go, oh shoot, yeah, That's not what I want to think. So then you have to plant more seeds, right? So that's why I started listening to Joe Dispenza, and I started listening to Jim Rohn, and I started listening to like all these different things. No, this is what I want to think, and I don't want to think that one anymore. I want to be happy, and I want to be successful, and I want to, and you start putting that in there. So who is that successful person? What does that successful person look like? What do they talk like? What do they wear? How do they put their hair? What are they doing during the day? Like all these different things. You want to be a millionaire. Okay, well, what is the millionaire you doing in that moment, right? If you had $1 million right now, what would you be doing? Would you be worrying about the money? Would you be spending it all? Would you be putting it in the bank? Would you be, whatever it is, right? And it could be health. If you wanted to be that healthy person, what would that healthy person be doing? It doesn't matter if you wanted the loving relationship, whatever it is, okay? And like I said to my son, Loki, after all that, I realized that, oh yeah, I had forgotten I had a choice, and I forgot that I could choose who I wanted to be, right? So then I talked to him about it, and I said, that's where I said I realized that I had forgotten that I wanted to make this choice instead, and thank you for reminding me, because it's all about you being aware of who you are in every minute, right? You can plant the seeds of what it is you want for your future, or you could plant the seeds that you've been getting your whole life, because that's what's familiar. It's up to you, 100%. You choose to be angry, or you choose not to be angry. You choose to be happy, or you choose not to be happy. You choose to be successful, or you choose not to be successful. It's all up to you. There are steps, of course there's steps that you have to take, but number one, it's changing your thoughts. If you can change your thoughts the moment, and I'm not there yet, like obviously because this situation came up, brought up old habits that I hadn't let go yet, and a lot of fear factors, and of course, I don't know what that noise was. Different things happened, right, that I allowed in for quite a bit of time. It wasn't minutes. Well, it was minutes. It wasn't hours, but it wasn't like seconds, which I wish it was. I'll get there eventually. That's where we all get, right? And I mean, even Dr. Joe says that even he gets there. So I mean, it's just a matter of being aware of who you are in every moment. You can plant sunflowers, or you can plant weeds, or even worse, black shade, or whatever, poison in your brain. It's up to you. You get to choose you, my friends. Anger's an inside job, just like happiness. No one can bring you happiness. No one can bring you anger except yourself. If you're willing to have it, that's up to you. You are amazing. I appreciate you. I love you. And I hope you have an amazing day.